Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday morning, I don't know, 9:30 or so. I'm out in the shop and it looks like I'm free for the whole day to be out here. Got a couple of things I want to work on. Let me flip the camera around and kind of show you. On Friday, I went to the post office and my dead center and my live center arrived from Steve Miracle. So I'm excited to have these. This means it's going to make it a lot easier for me to turn. Last, when we were in the shop, I was working on this blank. I finished the CA and I just let it dry. I'm at the point now where I'm going to get these nonstick bushings off of here. We're going to square the ends up. We'll get it between centers. I've got my dead and live center there and my bushings there. And we'll go ahead and micro mesh it. And hopefully things go well and we'll get her pressed into a kit here very shortly. I've got these 4 blanks that I had started working on. I want to go ahead and get them, start turning them a little bit. And the reason why I decided to turn today is I was going to make some more blanks, but I want you guys to know I have been working on the videos. I've got 3 videos knocked out. I'm trying to take all the blanks that I have, kind of group them together and make several smaller videos instead of having a real long video. A long video is difficult when you're looking for blanks. So I've got 3 short videos. I got a couple of more videos I need to put together, and then I'll do an announcement of when I'm going to go ahead and get the blank sale going. I have been working on that in the evenings. It just takes a long time to put those videos together. You know, you've got to film each blank, then you put them together, you cut all the slop off the beginning and the end, you add text to each video clip of what it is, the number of the blank. It just takes a little bit of time. So I'm working through that. And I don't want to make any more blanks until those blanks are gone because I've got so dang many blanks. I need to clear some of them out. But I do have some turning to do. If I get the turning done on all 4 of these, and these 4 of these 5 pins are being filmed. The one on the lathe is not being filmed. The other 4 are. And if things go well, I've got some stuff like one of my Chaos blanks that I made out of Spectraply. I'm going to prep this one. I've also got several pin kits that I got from the show. Pin blanks that I want to prep. And I've got some older ones that I got from last year's show that I want to prep. I never got around to prepping them, and I kept them all together, and they're still sitting in the same box over there. So I'm just going to kind of keep prepping pins, filming them, and hopefully 1 or 2 of those will be good enough to make into a video for you guys. So that's what we're going to work on today. I've had a fair morning. First up, I turned this micarta blank. It is, it's been sanded and it's ready for finish, so we're going to have to clean it and finish it. Then I turned this, actually I turned second, this Catalina Ironwood. Turned out beautiful. I had one little issue with it where I got a little close to the bushings on one end of the on one end of the cap, but it's the lower end, and I'm going to turn a tenon off on there, so that's all going to get turned away. No big deal. Then I turned this cedar, and there's something when you watch this video, you'll notice when I first start turning the cedar, once it's first trued up, I go ahead and anchor my tool, and you'll see like a burnish mark on the blank. Cedar is so soft. I found that I had to basically be on the tool rest and have the tool moving as I engaged it with the blank. A little nerve-wracking, but that's the only way I could avoid those burnish marks, because every time they happened, and I was afraid that it would cause an issue with the final blank. And then sanding, I started at 320 grit. This stuff is so soft, you know, cedar's just a soft wood. So you got to be real careful with that, and you got to take that into account with something that's soft. The 4th blank is not going to make it to a video. This is the Azalea, and you can see what happened. Then, of course, it went into the dust collector. This stuff, look at that. No matter which way I turned, whether I went from left to right or right to left, I kept lifting grain. I could lay that down, but then the other side of the blank would lift. So I should have took a closer look. It was hard to tell with the wax on it. This may have been like cross-cut or a burl or something. I had a really hard time with it, and I'm super disappointed. I kept going back and stropping my skew, but it just kept lifting material. I'd lower, I'd raise the tool rest. I tried holding the tool different angles. You know, I tried, you know, moving the tool like this, breaking it down a little bit. I tried, you know, more of an abrupt angle, less of an angle, just skating across the surface. Everything I tried, nothing seemed to work. So I was really disappointed, but I do have another blank, and I will turn it again. I'm just disappointed that I lost that blank because it really was beautiful. All right, I'm going to get to work now. Everything over there has been sanded and is ready to be cleaned and finished, and we're going to start doing some finishing. Before I go any further, I need to empty this. If you notice right here, you can kind of see If you look in there a little bit, that's the level of the dust in my bin. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out of here. It's going to make a mess and a half, I think. I think I'll fire up the shop vac, and as I raise the lid, just kind of try to suck some out to let that lower so it doesn't go all over the floor. And then we're going to get that emptied, and then we'll be back to start finishing the micarta pen. That wasn't really as bad as I thought it would be. As I lifted it up, I guess it was all pulled in the middle. So as I begin to lift it up, it started to shake down by the sides. And I learned if I kind of shake the garbage can back and forth, worked out pretty well. So it's heavy as all get out, but we're gonna get her emptied. Mission complete. I even emptied out my old shop vac garbage can. It was full to the brim with paper towels and sandpaper and different things like that. This was a trick. I have a garbage can. It's a great big garbage can. It has a flip lid, 2 big wheels on the back for taking it up and down the driveway. And every time I would lift this thing up, trust me, it weighs a ton without anything in it, but it's super heavy when it's loaded with wood chips. I would try to lift this up and sit on the garbage can. The darn garbage can would roll and fall over a lot of times, depending on which end I set it on. So it was tricky. I had to get it half in the grass, half on the driveway where it wouldn't move, and then get that up on there and dump it. And then this huge cloud of dust went all over the place. And that's because I don't want to throw the bag away. That's a heavy bag, and I only have 2 of them, one more upstairs, and I don't want to throw it away every time I use it. So I just dump it into the trash can, and it won't affect the garbage men because they grab it with a big claw, dump it in the back of a truck, and yeah, there'll be a dust cloud, but heck, there's already a dust cloud following the garbage truck anyway. So that baby's empty. We're ready to go. Time for me to clean this and start putting some CA on it. Well, I haven't got a whole lot done since last I shot a little clip for you. Took a little break, went in, had some chili for lunch. I am putting a CA finish on this micarta because I honestly had no idea how to finish it. It's a very hard material, probably harder than acrylic. Well, definitely harder than acrylic. So it's probably not the best solution, but I just didn't think it would buff up real nicely if I just use my micro mesh and put some wax on it. I want it to give it a little bit of a pop. It's looking pretty good. It's going to need to have those little orange peel lines buffed out of it with the micro mesh, but I've got 2 coats on there. We're going to let this finish dry and get about 3 more on, then we'll buff it up and see how she looks. While I'm letting glue dry, I'm going to start the preparation for a couple of other blanks. I'm going to turn one of my Spectraply Chaos blanks. I'm excited to see what that looks like. I've got this blank here from Paul's Lathe Works. I talked about it in my video. It's one that I made a trade for. And I've got this blank. It's a clock watch part blank that I'm going to turn for my son as kind of to remind him of his summer in the Cavaliers. And I made a mistake. This actually came from Brian Wrights. And Brian, I'm terribly sorry I screwed that up. I wrote down everything in a little book as I had got it or won it or everything that happened at the show. And I wrote that down, but I guess when I looked it up, I looked up the wrong information. But Brian gave me this watch parts blank, and I will be giving him full credit as I do the video, because all 3 of these will be video blanks. Got the micarta blank finished. It's ready to be assembled into a kit. Kind of an interesting piece. I thought it would have a little bit more of the purple to it, because when you look at it, let's see if we can find it over here. Yeah, there it is. You can see how, I guess it does look a bit brown in this light, but I thought it had a bit more purple to it, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to keep that out, and we will use that for the beauty shot for the video. But that's what it looked like when it started out, so that's pretty cool, pretty cool. I got the Catalina Ironwood on the lathe. I just put the first coat of CA on it. I'm going to go ahead and finish it. It requires a 9/32 inch tenon at this end of the cap for the beauty ring. I decided to wait until I got it turned to put that tenon on there, because if I do it now, the CA will work over the edge and I won't have a good way to clean it off. I got a couple blanks from my next batch glued up here. Got the tube in this one, just letting it dry. One of my Spectraply blanks, I decided to make a slimline. I've got a nice copper slimline I'm going to use on that, so that's drying. The third blank already has tubes in it, so basically we just need to square the ends, and we'll go ahead and wait until we're ready to square those, and we'll do all of them at the same time. Over here on the lathe, our Carolina Ironwood is done with its CA. It's dry, and it's ready for me to start micro meshing. I'm going to get it off the nonstick bushings and get started. I got my cedar blank on the lathe, and I'm applying CA. It's got 3 coats of thin so far. 2 more to go before we move to the medium. That's about the end for me. It's pretty warm out here today. I've had a long day in the shop. It's been a good day. I got a couple of blanks prepped. I moved these blanks along. None of them got finished, so they're not ready. I can start editing the videos with the clips I have, but I still have some work to do before I can complete them. But I'm happy I made this much progress. I didn't really expect to spend this much time in the shop today, so I'm kind of excited about that too. But I'm going to go ahead and call it quits for the day. I'm going to put the 2 more coats of thin on here, and then we'll just let her dry. And the next time I come out, I'll do the medium. I hope everybody has a great day. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you again very, very soon.